Hey yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we will be doing our first unit tutorial about rigid bodies and how to control them. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so to start off, firstly, you click on this new project icon. Wait a second. So, you click on this new project icon, and after that, it will open up this weird thing. So, you click on 3D and then you name your project down here, and after that you save it to wherever you want from this. After that you click on create project. It'll take some time to load in, but after it loads in, we'll get right into the concepts. Okay guys, so firstly, this is where you're going to start off with. This is going to be where you're going to edit stuff, like to add planes and to add stuff inside. This is going to be where you're going to at like game objects. You'll learn what that is soon. And this called the hierarchy, and this is called the inspector, where they are going to show the properties of the objects. And this is going to be where all your things in your projects are going to be. Right over here you can create folders. As you can see, there's something called scenes. This is our scene which we are going to start in. Okay, now to start off, we'll first create a empty game object. So we'll click on the hierarchy, we'll right click and we'll click create empty, and we'll name it anything you want. Let's just name it empty. So what does this game object have? It has a transform where it can be moved around, as you can see. Now it's untagged and its layer is default. So this is what we can see inside of this what do you call inspector. So these are the properties of the game object. We can add a component through this. For example, there are many components. These are just the folders for the components. For example, we can go to physics and there are many physics stuff, like for example a rigid body. We'll soon get to that part. And that's for the first part on how to on this first unity tutorial. This is the first part you need to know. Okay, now for this tutorial, what did we learn? First thing we learned is that a game object in Unity is something which we can put things into. For example, we can add components like a rigid body too. Alright, now let's get into the next part. Okay, so now as you can see, it's just nothing inside of it. It's literally, you can't even see. The only thing you can see is the transform that you can move it around. So what we are going to do is we will delete this game object, and instead we will do something else. Hold up. It's rebuilding everything. Then we will right click, and instead of clicking on create empty, we will click on 3D objects. Then you'll open up this thing. Then you will click on cube. Okay, it's taking some time to load in. Alright, let's just wait. Hold up. Alright. Now it joined in. Hold up, still loading. Okay, so it got in our cube. Alright, now if we click onto this, we will have this thing. So we have a mesh renderer and a mesh filter. What we will do is, it also has a box collider. So what we are going to do is, firstly we are going to scale this up. But before we do that, I want to tell what this is. This cube, it's a game object that has a box collider, a mesh renderer, and a cube mesh filter. So we will you can click, as you can see there are these couple icons over here. You can click on this one over here called the rect tool. After you click on that, you can maximize the size of the cube. So I'll make it like this much size. Okay, now let's make a little scene over here. So we will click over here again in the hierarchy, click on 3D objects, and we will click on capsule. We will rename this capsule as our player. Now to this player we can do something. We can add a component called rigid body. You can type it in this search bar. So we'll add the rigid body. And now if we click play, something cool is going to happen to the capsule, technically our player. So we'll look at it. Still loading in. So yeah, um, give me a second. Also, yeah. All right. Now, if we go to our scene, you can see the. Hold up. Give me a second. Why hasn't it fallen down? Hold up. Wait. What? Give me a second. Alright. Something's up. Oh wait, it did fall. Right? Yeah, it fell. Sorry guys, I didn't catch that over there. As you can see, when I drag it up, it just falls. That's cool, right? So we can do like that and keeps on falling. So that's what we can do. So that is how to play with rigid bodies in Unity. Now for the next part, I want to show you what this rigid body actually has. So let's click on our capsule. We'll go to our rigid body. Now it uses gravity. Alright, so what uses gravity means? It controls whether the gravity actually affects the rigid body. Alright, now that we got that, you need to understand that before we can get to the next part. Now what we will do is we are going to start off with the scripting. So firstly, let me drag this thing over here to the center. Okay, what we are going to do is to the capsule, we'll go down here and we'll click on add component, and now you can name the script whatever you want. For now, let's just call it player movement. We'll click on new script and we can click create and add. Then it will start to edit. You just have to wait for a while. Alright, after it joins in, you can go over here and you can double click on this player movement script, and it will take some time to load in the next Visual Studio. So after that loads in, I will get back to you. So after you opened it up, first thing we are going to learn is on what are variables. Firstly, we are going to start off by writing public. Now, what does public mean? Public means the like something you can change within Unity or even during the game. So we'll call it public. Then we will call a game object. Now, like I explained earlier, a game object is something that you can you can add stuff into. Now, we'll say game object and we'll say player, or you can name it whatever you want. Simple concept is that you want it to be similar to player. All right, after that, now let's revise this entire line. Public, that means you can change it within the script. Not the script, within the Unity and during the game. Game object, that means something you can add stuff into. Variable name, which is player. All right, then let's get to the next part. We'll say public rigid body. So what is rigid body? Rigid body is like what I explained right now, like a while ago. It's a component inside of the player. So we'll call this the name RB. All right. Now to make sure that we actually have RB inside of our script, we are going to type RB dot. Oh no, sorry. Player. No, sorry. Sorry, I'm making a couple of mistakes. RB equals player dot get component. That get component, what shall we call this? Rigid body. Technically, the name is rigid body. And then after that, we will close it with our brackets and then put a what do you call that? A semicolon. The reason we use a semicolon is the way we try to end things inside of C sharp. Nextly, we'll revise the entire line. RB, the rigid body we just created, is equal to the player, the game object, dot get component. That means we are going to get a component out of the player. The component's name is rigid body. Alright, now let's go to void update and start some easy stuff. For example, if. Now, what is if? If is this, alright? So, what does if command do? That means if we do something, it's like a sort of gate. Alright, in this condition, it will do this, like that. So, we'll click if input. So, we are calling the unities input manager. Input dot get button, or sorry, input dot, let's say key code. Input dot get key down dot, sorry, so input dot get key down, what is the name of it going to be? Get key down, let's say D. All right, key D, and then we'll click enter. Now hold up, give me a second, something's wrong, give me a second. Input dot get key down D, then you'll close it with this, and then you have to add the curly brackets, and then you'll click enter, and then it will open up like this. So then we'll say player dot position, actually wait, let's say RB dot velocity equals RB dot, no, new vector 3, and then we'll say the x-axis we want travel from, so let's say 10 comma 0 comma 0, and this is our first line. RB dot velocity is equal to new vector 3 10 comma 0 comma 0. Now if we save that and go back to Unity, save that, go back to Unity, it'll take some time to load in the script. So yeah, we just gotta wait. Alright, still loading in. Gotta wait some time. Wait. Alright, so after it loads in, we can click on this play button. It's gonna again start loading. Alright, let's just wait. Now first thing we need to do is, first we need to go to our capsule, and since we have the player movement script inside of our capsule, we can go down and see this player. We have to drag our capsule towards it, and that's how we define stuff. And then for this rigid body, we can drag this rigid body component into this. Now if we click play, oops, I think now we found an error. So there's no input key name D. Let's go change that. Input dot get key down D, key code dot D. Sorry, I made a little mistake over there. I forgot to write a key code. So key code dot D. Alright. Now if we save that and go back, then it should start reloading all of the stuff. So we have to wait a little while. It's still loading in. So what we are going to do is we are going to click on play, and after that we will it's going to start loading. It's going to take some time to load, and after that we can click D. Let's go to our scene. D, where is it? Oh, it fell. Let's retry that. Hold up. Why don't we add the main camera to the capsule? Now that we add the main camera to the capsule, we can drag this up and then put it back over here, and then we can click on play. Now it should sort of, you know, just move to the left. Let's try that. Yeah, it technically moved, but there was a tiny problem over there. It started rotating. Now that's not normal. So what we'll do is we'll click on our capsule, we'll go down over rigid body, and we'll go to constraints. After that, we will freeze X, Y, and Z rotation, not the position, just the rotation. Now, if we clicked play, it should work properly now. You'll fall and you'll be able to move around like this. See that? Now, there's another thing. What we can do now is we can add the same thing again, but to the other. Now, after this, hold up. So, if we go to Visual Studio, now we could like keep on duplicating and duplicating and like making the all the moment for WASD all keys, but that would be kind of time taking. Let's do it in a more readable way, like to make our scripts more like readable. We'll not put that if command. Instead, we will use horizontal and vertical inputs. So we'll say float, float, vertical. Let's say var equals input dot get axis raw, input dot get axis raw. Hold up, it's still loading. Oh my god, this takes so long to load. Oh, give me a second, guys. Oh. Alright, so get axis raw, and we'll type in actually wait, not ver, let's call it hor, that means horizontal. So you say hor, and over here we can type horizontal, horizontal. Alright, and then we'll put our semicolon, and then let's do the same thing for vertical. So float ver equals input, oh my god, input dot get axis raw vertical. All right, so after that, then we'll say what shall we say first? All right, rb dot position equals new vector 3. This time we'll say hor times 5f. Why are we multiplying it? Or else it would just be 0. And then comma, let's say float y, which could be 0. Alright. Now after that we need to put our jump script. So we'll type if input dot get button down. Then there's a built-in button for jump. So we'll type in brackets jump. And after that over here, let's add the curly brackets, and from there we can type rb dot position equals new vector 3 rb dot position dot x comma uh, 0, let's say. Yeah, actually no, not 0, let's say like 10, I guess. If we try that and if we save that and go to Unity, still loading in, give it some time. It's taking a little long to load. Well, it's gonna take some time still. Wait, still loading in. Oh my god, this takes so long to load. Right, it's almost done. Just give it some time. Oh my god. Alright. Okay, so it loaded in. We'll click on play. Still again loading in. Oh wait, I think it's loading faster this time. Alright. So after we click okay, then we can what in the hold up. Alright, so I found what's wrong. Hold up. I spawned somewhere I wasn't supposed to. Let's click on our capsule. Let's make it 0. Hold up, guys. I think I know what's going on. Just click this and let me try to click play again. Let me just click play. Hopefully it'll work this time. Okay, so there's an error. Let's find that. So let's click on this script. Vertical. Hmm. Found the mistake. First thing was that this entire line code was completely wrong. And this one, I had to say rb dot velocity is equal to new vector 3. It's velocity, not position. And then I have to tell a vector 3, so I have to say rb dot velocity dot x and then 5f, which is going to be our jump, so it has to be 5f, and then comma rb dot velocity dot z. Alright, after that, let's go over here to this line and refix it. We'll type rb dot velocity is equal to new vector 3, and then we will type hold on, new vector 3 rb dot velocity, sorry, first we have to type the horizontal input hor times 5f comma rb dot velocity, why is it taking so long, velocity dot y comma and then var times 5f, and then this is sort of what we need. All right, so after I did that, it should work. Let's save it and let's go back to Unity. And also I forgot to say you, the hotkey for saving is like, yeah, the hotkey for saving is control and S. All right, now let's click play. This should work. Hmm. Mm, right, let's see. Okay, yeah, this works perfectly good. But that's a tiny, so that's a little problem which I will fix in our next tutorial. So as you can see, also the time kind of went quite high. It's like 20 minutes now. I will post it a while later. Now we have a simple movement script. We can move around with our player. We can jump, but we can jump forever. We'll be fixing that in our next tutorial. And so since this tutorial has ended, I will quickly review through the points which we had to say. So we have called this is a game object. We can say public means we can change it during the script and we can change it within Unity. And we are getting input.getAxis raw means we are getting it from, like, it's a built-in thing in Unity. You have horizontal and vertical axes, and then this we are going to, from that we are going to change our rb.velocity to the certain amount, and from jump we will ask from rb.velocity, and then we'll say that certain changes which we have to put. If you have any problems, feel free to put it down in the comments below. And so since this tutorial has ended, I will be going away for a while, so yeah, see you later.